It is Monday, August 30th. This is Jaguars Happy Hour. Jaguars Happy Hour is presented by Jet Home Loans. And now, a guy we're pretty sure is going to make the cut, J.P. Shadrick.
We're all day today, but welcome in. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans. J.P. Shadrick with you on this Monday afternoon after preseason week 3. And we've got a busy show today, as always on Mondays. Well, most Mondays, whenever they both decide to show up. It's Tony Boselli and Pete Prisco joining us in just a few minutes. Preseason week 3 recap. The Jaguars knocked off the Cowboys yesterday 34-14. We'll go through that, including Trevor Lawrence leading a couple of scoring drives in 3 possessions on the field and looking really good doing it. 11 out of 12 passing. Social media questions in the second hour, and we'll go around the National Football League. Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli with us now from parts other than here in Jacksonville. What's up, guys? Pete, what's happening?
What's up? You guys missed me, haven't you, for the last couple weeks?
Well, we didn't do a show last week, Pete. We played.
But I know you didn't. I know you did, but you still missed me.
No, we did not. And then 2 weeks ago, now this is not a lie. This is not hype. No, you can ask JP. We had people texting and tweeting, this show is better without me. JP.
I mean,
is that accurate or
we've got receipts, Tony. They're out there. The tweets, the emails.
Other than JP's dad, he doesn't like me.
Well, I mean, we got receipts, though. I'm just saying.
We do. We got receipts.
Yeah, well, when you're not there, our ratings go up. So they'll trade the ratings for your receipts. How's that? You missed me? No, seriously, did you? I missed doing the show. I was at Minnesota. We had all day practice, and I missed the show on that day. And then last week, I know it was game time, and it was fun to watch. I watched the game, but I missed doing the show before. I thought we'd do the show before the game, but I guess Tony had to get ready for his broadcast by eating a hot dog.
No hot dogs. Pete, no hot dogs. It was cold sandwiches. Not great. Let me tell you, because press box food, as you know, Pete, in the COVID world is not the same, except for one place. And you know who continues it's off the charts?
Tampa.
Dallas.
Dallas. Oh, yeah.
Like, first of all, I'm not sure COVID exists in Dallas. There's not a mask to be seen within 100 miles. And the food, open, buffet, it was glorious. I mean, I'm not condoning not wearing masks. If you're supposed to wear a mask, wear a mask. That's not my point. My point is a lot of press boxes are now more box meals, and you don't have the spreads that you did pre-COVID. But Dallas was true to form.
Yeah, Jerry, that place is an unbelievable stadium. It really is.
All right, guys.
Hey, by the way, speaking of cuts, I thought I might get cut.
Why is that, Pete?
Pete had some very. Pete, in a national article, and Pete, I usually read your stuff. I missed this one, unfortunately.
I didn't write an article about it, though. That's the wrong thing.
Was it a tweet?
I was on a radio show, and they asked me about it, and I put it out there, and then it kind of went viral. It wasn't a story. And then
give everyone up to date.
They aggregated it. It was some of the players were getting rubbed the wrong way by some of the things that Urban was doing. And I prefaced it by saying, look, and everybody was coming down on him. 2 games, you can't judge a guy, you can't judge. But the horn, the word, let's put it this way, ecology was some of the things I heard from people. And so I put it out there and I didn't think it was anything of it. I didn't make a giant headline out of it, and just kind of went viral a little bit. So, you know how this league is now. Well,
first and foremost, there's one thing that, all joking aside, I like to give Pete a hard time, but I've never known him. And now, is it 27? Is this the 27th year, Pete?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God. Wow.
I've known Pete Prisco, and we've had our run-ins, and we've had disagreements, especially when I was a player. But I've never once in my life known Pete Prisco to say anything publicly that he did not have a very strong source for. So, love it or hate it, I don't always like what Pete reports, but it's his job, and that's what he does. And I'll say this, to the point that you've heard that some players, feel a little college-y, aren't, all in, or whatever you want to call it. My first response to that is, who cares? I played for a guy that many a man complained, thought it was awful, made no sense. College references were made. Actually, Army boot camp references were made, and players unhappy. I mean, Pete, you remember '95? We had people escaping, sneaking out to like they were like in a prison camp to get away, and just because they didn't want to do it anymore. And the bottom line is, if you win, it doesn't matter. The only time it matters is if you don't win. Tom Coughlin had a lot of criticism when he was here as a coach. I played for him. I love Tom. I respect him. I didn't like what he did sometimes.
No, you complained too. Don't act like you didn't.
That's my point. Bottom line
Right.
is he's the coach, and I had a choice. I either buy in and do what I'm supposed to do, or go find somewhere else to play.
And that's the point. Yeah, you're 100%. I didn't say you shouldn't buy in. I'm just saying what I heard was what I was told, and that's Urban's prerogative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, message to the players are, I don't know if you looked around, over the last, decade plus outside of 2017. It's not like there's a lot of success going on.
No.
I mean, I probably buy into the dude that's won multiple national titles. And you know what? But at the end of the day, we're all judged by one thing in the NFL. That's wins and losses. Whether you're Urban Meyer or whether you're a coach who's never done anything, and Urban Meyer has quite the resume and has a bunch of credibility. And to your point of reporting player, that doesn't surprise me one bit. First of all, professional athletes, I being one of them, like to complain.
Like, they're babies. They're babies. But Tony, look, again, it's not surprising considering some of the things that he's done. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just different. And it's his way. I respect that. But I just relayed what I heard. It wasn't a shot at Urban. It wasn't a shot at his coaching. I just relayed what I heard. Believe me, the millions of things I heard about Tom in year 1 and 2. Oh my gosh. It was, this is country club football compared to what you guys went through. So it was
my God.
Multiply the complaining by 5,000 and go from there. But yeah, I mean, look, I think Urban handled it. I guess he told Ed Werder the other day he had no complaints from anybody, which was his way of saying, it's not true or whatever. And Ed Werder put that out there in a tweet, and I'm okay with it.
All right, guys.
Well, guess what? Yeah. Well, here's one more thing on this, JP. Here's the bottom line, and here's the reality. And it ties back to what you were saying earlier, Pete, a little bit. I mean, probably a little too much panic after losing 2 games, people being critical. Probably a little too much excitement after winning one preseason in Game 3. We'll talk about that today, playing against the JV at the Cowboys.
You mean bouncers and bartenders? That's what they were playing against.
The bottom line is it doesn't matter what happens in the preseason. Urban Meyer will be judged, and the players in this team will be judged like every other coach and players in the NFL. Guess what? If you win games, your method is great. If you lose games, your method is no good. Go win games. And Urban Meyer's track record doing that. The proof will be in the pudding. I still think this is going to be there's a learning curve. I'm not saying because Urban's coming from college to pro, because he has a super young team with a rookie quarterback, and go look at the history of this league when rookie quarterbacks start. It's tumultuous. I mean, it's up and down. It's all over the place, and that's going to happen. But
look, the guy's been a great coach at every level. I mean, at Utah, I remember sitting there when I did the show with Frank Frangie in the morning. I said, Frank, they should hire Urban Meyer of Florida. The guy's a heck of a coach. And he was. But it's a different game in the NFL. And he will learn the NFL game just like Tom learned the NFL game. There's things you can and cannot do, or you shouldn't do. Like Tony, when he said
different things. So hold on, Pete, hold on. 2 different things between Tom and Urban. This is why. Remember, Urban's never been an assistant coach in the NFL. Tom was under Parcells. And a lot of the stuff Tom did was Parcells to the nth degree.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't just college. It was, hey, I'm going to go take Parcells, who will grind a team, be physical, and I'm going to use my personality, which is even harsher than probably Parcells was. I never played for Bill. But and said, this is how, and here's and this is the same with Urban. Tom Coughlin had a belief that this is how you play football. This is how you coach a football team. This is how you get buy-in. Now, 27 years later, Urban Meyer has a belief, and he says, this is how you build a team. And if you do it my way, you'll have success. And guess what? College at work. Proof will be in the pudding here. I'm on board. I'll go with it. Because listen, I want us to win. I'm tired of losing.
Yeah, and you know what? Look, his history says he will be successful. His history, you got to give him that. His history says he will be successful. It's just there's some things that maybe I don't think are normal, and I know some of the players didn't think were normal, which they got to adjust to. Just like with you guys with all the 9,000 rules you had back in the day, nobody thought those were normal.
Because they weren't. Who cares what color socks you wear on the road? Why am I getting fined for wearing white socks?
Yeah, and I don't know. Does he have any of those rules, Urban? Like,
I have no idea.
Do they have to travel in a suit and tie?
No, well, from the photos I've seen, no. So
I'm not allowed. We're not allowed on the team plane, Pete. I'm stuck like you in commercial.
Gosh, with a mask on for 5 hours.
Yeah,
it's awful.
That's right.
Pete, but also and I think you would agree with this. Whether it's Urban Meyer or any other college coach, you are a little bit of the anti-college guy. You're an NFL guy. Not that you don't like college football, but you're an NFL guy, and you think the way you do things in the NFL is different, like wholesale, than the way you do in college. And so a little bit is my point is saying that. I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way, or right, but your philosophy, and your comments and what you see a lot of times is colored by the fact that you just think the NFL is so different that a lot of the stuff that a coach does in college just isn't relevant at the NFL level.
Unless you're Jimmy. Jimmy did it and came in and you commanded the respect and did it his way. Here's one thing, like one of the comments Urban made earlier this year was, the guys will play for me. And that ain't the way it is, and you know that, Tony. You respect the coach, but you know what you're playing for. Let's be real. You're playing for the almighty dollar. And I hope you win.
I'm playing for the name on the front of the jersey, Pete. That's what I played for.
You're playing for the name and the family tree that's underneath that name, the Boselli.
No.
Yes,
name on the front.
You're a lie.
Jacksonville.
The lie detector just went off again. He lied.
We've got plenty ahead. We are off and running in some breaking roster news this afternoon. Josh Allen has been activated from the reserve COVID-19 list, and the team has waived cornerback Corey Straughter just moments ago. We'll come back in a moment. We'll get into yesterday's game. The Jaguars got a win in Dallas. The starting quarterback, played well in that game, too. We'll break it all down. Second hour tonight, we'll have your social media questions, and we're off and running. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by Dreamfinders Homes, homes that fit your lifestyle. And by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com. You know what you expect at an airport hotel. A bed, a shuttle that's never on time, and if you're lucky, a day-old Danish on your way out the door. But at the Crowne Plaza Jacksonville Airport, you get a renovated lobby, restaurant, and bar, and 10,000 square feet of luxurious space for memorable family and business events. So stop by, stay a while, and expect to be surprised. Crowne Plaza Jacksonville Airport. Book online or call 1-877-2-CROWN. That's 1-877-227-6963.
At ViStar, we believe in better. And what's better than saving up to $5,000 in closing costs when you buy or refinance a home? With a ViStar no closing costs mortgage, you'll get a great rate, no hidden fees, and like the name says, no closing costs up to $5,000. If you believe saving money is better, join ViStar. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Offer not available on VA and FHA mortgages. For more information, visit vistarcu.org.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
So, it's happy hour. Let's talk whiskey options. Have you tried Citrus Distillers? Have you tried Citrus Distillers Limited Edition 2021 Barrel-Aged Jaguar Whiskey? Did you know it's only available for a limited time and manufactured in Jacksonville? Yes, Jacksonville. I said local whiskey. Try it on the rocks or in a Jack's Whiskey Sour. Citrus Distillers Jaguars Whiskey is available at local liquor stores, restaurants, and the Jaguar Stadium. Drink local, Jacksonville. Find recipes and events at jaguarswhiskey.com.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Jacksonville Sports Talk for Jacksonville sports fans. 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I just told you the most impressive group was the O-line. 5 of our top 6 didn't play. And there was a point yesterday, even late yesterday, well, should we play Trevor or not? And that was, my gosh, you take the first overall pick. And then Will Richardson, who has been really arguably one of our most improved players, we moved him to right guard, and basically all he did is have walkthrough. We took 2 guys that were recently cut, Dara and Jermaine. And first time I'm shaking their hand is a pregame meal. That's a new one. But they're good guys. They played. Walker Little played really well. Shatley's a stud. He hangs in there. Juwan Taylor, but everyone else was out. But that was the most impressive thing that I saw. Offensive line protect our guys, and we had to let the QB play. Head coach Urban Meyer after the game in Dallas yesterday, and welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans. JP Shadrick, Tony Boselli, Pete Prisco. The Jaguars get a win over the Cowboys yesterday, 34-14 in the final preseason game, and of course it was a week with a lot of quarterback maneuvering. They named Lawrence the starter on Wednesday officially, then traded Gardner Minshew to the Eagles.
Shocking.
Trevor comes through in the final preseason game. It's a miracle. He didn't have the reps, but he played well, Pete. Shocker, right? With a great stat line, 11 of 12 passing, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, 154 rating. And as you heard Urban say there, behind that offensive line, without the 4 of the 5 top guys, 4 of the 5 starters at least. And Urban said they were thinking about not playing Lawrence because of that uncertainty up front. But we'll hear from the quarterback now. He needed a little confidence before the end of the preseason.
Always is. Felt great out there, obviously. I think we just executed a lot better than we have the past 2 games. So it was just great to see. It's a good feeling. A lot better feeling coming in the locker room today as opposed to this time last week. So just one step in the right direction. Got to keep getting better. Now they're going to count for real. So just putting everything we have into getting ready for Houston. But it was a great, builds a lot of confidence going into, the season. It's nice to finish the preseason with a game like that.
He had his most reps in preseason week number 2 in New Orleans, but then comes through yesterday with a fine performance, Tony. Pete?
Appreciate you say. Can you hear me?
I've got you now, Tony.
Okay. JP, I don't appreciate your little dig at Pete saying, oh, he didn't have any reps, Pete, and look how well he still played. Because what you are basically suggesting there, JP, which is asinine with a capital A, is that less reps makes you a better player.
Didn't say that.
My argument, yes, you basically
did.
I
didn't.
Pete's whole point and I hate defending Pete. I hate it with a passion. But Pete's point is, why would you not give this kid all the reps with the ones? Because you know he's going to be your starter. Now, I'm not debating Urban's methodology because I'm sure he has a methodology what he was thinking. But one thing, regardless,
I think you are actually.
No,
well, I am.
My point.
Well, I am.
You're not. You were exactly arguing that.
Yes,
okay,
you are.
Fine. Yeah, you're right. Okay, fine. You know what? You get better by doing things more often. It's a proven fact. It's science. Reps matter. Like the more you do something, and the more you perfect your craft, the better chance you have at being successful. I mean, Malcolm Gladwell, the authors, it's like the rule of 10,000. Like you have to become an expert of something. You have to have 10,000 reps, and the more you do it, the better you get. So he's the head coach. It's his strategy. I never understood it. Trevor Lawrence was going to be the starter outside of an injury from the moment you picked him with the number 1 overall pick at Clemson. Now, if part of the strategy was to build Gardner Minshew's value so you could trade him, great. Fine with it. I don't know if
Stop
that's
it.
worth the risk. Okay,
Stop it.
My point is this. I still wouldn't have done it because I think reps are more important than anything for a young player.
Well, okay, let's just say, for the sake of the argument, they were doing it to build up his trade value. Nothing he did in the preseason built up his trade value. Wasn't very good.
Might have hurt it.
So it made no sense. There was no reason to take away those number 1 reps. Competition? All you had to do was go out on the practice field. One of those isn't like the other. It made no sense whatsoever. Gardner Minshew's gone. Now you see Trevor Lawrence. He's the guy. And the whole charade, I called it the charade. That's what it is. The charade is over. It was a joke. What do you have with creating? I love competition. I've always wanted it and craved it, and players love it. That was no competition. Did you see anybody else competing for a spot? Is Shaq Griffin competing for his spot?
I would probably say no. I think he took all the reps.
Okay, then why would you do that with your quarterback?
Pete, I would not.
Who needs him more? I didn't get it. That one, look.
So it's over now, Pete. That's the thing. It's over now, though.
Oh yeah, they got the tuna sandwich for Gardner Minshew, and off they go.
And now they're on to Houston.
My point, JP, was for you to take a cheap shot at Pete like that.
No, it wasn't cheap. No, I paid for that one. I'm ready for that. There was a point.
Well, JP,
that.
Would you agree with me and Tony?
Say it again, Pete.
Do you agree with me and Tony?
I don't. Well, I mean, yeah, you need some reps, but I don't mind the strategy of trying to get as much as you can for Gardner Minshew, if that was the strategy.
How did it work? It was terrible.
Okay.
It was awful.
It didn't work out. What else did you want to see from Gardner or from Trevor in the reps that he didn't get?
Working all the reps with the offense.
Get better.
What offense? There's nobody. They got 2 receivers out. 4 of the linemen were out yesterday.
We're not talking about
Chris Manners didn't play it.
We're talking about the
practice,
camp.
JP.
They weren't in practice either.
What do you mean?
Around for a lot of it. What are you talking about?
I'm saying they weren't in practice.
You're ridiculous, JP.
Look, Gardner Minshew should have got minimal number of reps with the first team, and Trevor Lawrence should have got the majority of them. That's how you handle that. The reason Urban Meyer is here is because he had Trevor Lawrence. He wasn't coming if he didn't have the first pick.
So listen, I mean, Pete, you and I, we're on the same page. JP's wrong because I don't think in any other area, JP, you would argue that taking less reps as you're trying to perfect a craft is better than less reps. I don't buy that.
Okay, well now he's going to get them all. So.
Well, I think he should have been getting them all from the beginning.
Well, he didn't. So now he's getting them all. So
the only reason I'm bringing this up is because, JP, you said something. You took a shot at Pete.
I know. I'm just saying.
So you're at the fault of this. Okay. Secondly, no one loves the head coach more than me when you give props to the offensive line. And he's right. That group played well. And I like that he called them out. And I like that he made mention of Walker Little. And I like that he talked about the move that Will Richardson made. He had not gotten reps moving into right guard, and he played well. I think Wallace Sims played well.
I thought he played the best. I thought he played as well as any of them.
I agree with him about Shatley. I think Shatley's a good center. Is Linder better? Yes. Is it a huge drop-off? No. You can win with Tyler Shatley at center at that position.
Does Wallace Sims make the team? Does Wallace Sims make the team?
I would keep him. I don't know.
I would keep him. That's a big body. That's a big man.
Big physical human being who's only going to get better.
He's a touch slow. He's a touch slow getting out of his stance.
Yeah, he's not lightning quick, but he's a big body. In the way. I will say this though, I loved it, and I agreed with everything that Urban said. Keep in mind that was the second and third team defensive line. There was not one starter. There was some backups that were out. There were rotational players that didn't play, and so you better block those guys.
They didn't play their top 40 players.
That's my point. They didn't play the top 40. It wasn't just the starters out. A lot of any guy who they knew was making the team did not play. And I'm not taking anything away. Urban's comments were dead on, and I agree with them. But you have to also at the same time realize you better block those guys because they're not going to be on the NFL roster, or not very many of them.
And there were a couple pressures given. Jawan Taylor gave up a couple pressures, I thought. One on the inside, a guy got inside of him on one. But all in all, they did a really good job. The offensive line played well.
But Pete, you know what they didn't do great at? And JP, I don't know if you have the statistics from the first quarter or first half. I still think we've struggled to run the ball in the preseason.
Yep, I agree.
And I would have liked to see a little bit more of a run game.
First half rushing for the Jaguars 21 yards.
Yeah, that's not good. That's bad.
225 yards passing.
But you gotta admit the message of this game was okay. We're gonna make the quarterback have a nice game going into that's what they wanted.
And Urban said, he made it a point. Hey, Darrell Bevel, we're gonna throw the ball down the field some today.
And they did some different things. They had some pre-snap movement. The first two games they did nothing. They lined up in ISO routes and just ran their routes, and they're not good enough to do that.
Well, my favorite thing about the whole thing is you saw that Trevor Lawrence is. Which we knew. He's a stud.
That throw he made for the touchdown in the corner over there across the field. Oh, yeah.
He's a stud. He is just a flat stud.
Makes it look easy.
Yeah. I mean, it was so fun to watch. And that's why and again, I know they're playing against backups. I know that. I know they're playing a bunch of guys that might not be in the roster. I get that. It doesn't matter. Just watch it. Watch the game. Watch the tape. The dude does things that you just are. It's just so pretty. It's so beautiful. It's so great. It's so encouraging. And what I love when he gets hit, there's no flinch. He stands in there. He steps into throws as he's getting hit. There's no fear, and he just throws it. We're watching this tight spiral. It comes out on time. I mean, it's just.
That throw to Dorsett was a bullet across the field. I mean,
it was just
great. Touchdown. This touchdown throw. I think that's what this is going to be. Is this the one I'm talking about where he throws it?
Cooper
to the pylon. I mean, yeah. I mean, he made that look so easy. Like it just flicked his wrist and it was on top of the receiver.
They
have their generational quarterback. Let's put it. They do.
That was the positive out of this whole day. That's where I'm like, I don't care if they're playing against, third, fourth. It doesn't matter to me. Like, you can just watch him operate. And it's like, okay, we got the guy.
Right. If it was a 7-on-7 drill, you have the guy. Because he looked the part. He just looked yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. Now, the rest of it, like, watching our defense dominate, like, a bunch of guys who probably won't be playing. Like, okay, they did their job. Great. I'm not going to get too excited.
They still don't rush the passer.
That's worrisome. They have trouble getting to the quarterback with our starters against their backups. That just worries me.
All right, let's come back in a moment, guys.
I'm worried, and we'll talk about this coming up in a bit, but I'm worried about Chaseoff.
Oh, that's what we call a teaser.
Pete, I don't think I'll give you a quick tease. I don't think he's the starter.
Oh, my goodness.
He didn't start yesterday.
Wow. Okay, let's get into that when we come back. Plenty ahead on the defensive side of the football from yesterday's finale and the end of preseason. Season tickets, single game tickets, and group tickets. Be a part of the new era of Jaguars football and own it. Visit jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by TIAA Bank. Turn potential into progress. And by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Everyone's so busy keeping up. Forget about the Joneses. We all on our telephones with the texts and the tweets and the beats. What he said, she said, can't even follow the thread. Down the hole, we all go. Me, I like keeping up too, with my Corona and my attitude. That's La Vida Más Fina.
Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Pinpoint, the official signage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, helps business decision makers like you maximize the impact of their brand. Your company's identification, advertising, and even the words you use make an impression on your clients. With Pinpoint as your coach, you can make sure it's a good impression. Pinpoint provides the creative design and production services for anything you need to enhance your brand, from custom signage to complete marketing solutions. Step up your game with Pinpoint and create the ultimate brand experience for your clients. Visit experiencepinpoint.com. Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
I'm Urban Meyer, head football coach of the Jacksonville Jaguar. New Horizons call for renewed vision, enhanced clarity, and an unparalleled willingness to block out the noise and distractions around you and simply focus on achieving greatness. Because getting one step closer to define everyone's expectations isn't just about waiting for a window of opportunity, it's about creating it for yourself. It's about being a game changer, both on and off the field. And when we say we're all about renewal and achievement in Jacksonville, we mean it. That's why we've chosen to partner with Renewal by Anderson, official window and door replacement company of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Healthcare coverage for less? Yes. Now, because of the new healthcare stimulus, you can get better benefits, more coverage, and pay less with a Florida Blue plan. Claim your savings today. Visit floridablue.com/getcovered now. Policies have limitations and exclusions. If you already had health insurance in 2021, speak with an agent to find out how changing plans could impact your deductibles and out-of-pocket maximums. Florida Blue and Health Options Incorporated, DBA Florida Blue HMO, are independent licensees of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
The station that the Jaguars listen to, 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Guy's all about foot quickness, and he's a powerful, powerful man. I'd like to compliment the whole defensive front. That's been 3 weeks in a row. We've won the line of scrimmage. But Devon, he's a big part of this defense. And Joe Cullen, the style of defense we play, we want big, thick cats that can control line of scrimmage, and he's a big part of that. So is Malcolm.
Devon Hamilton, Malcolm Brown, that's Urban Meyer discussing the defensive line. And welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on a Monday afternoon. JP Shadrick with Tony Boselli and Pete Prisco, a day after the Jaguars knock off the Cowboys in preseason week 3. And yeah, another day against the run for the most part. Certainly early in the game. Played well against the Cowboys running game. But again, it's the number 2 offense. None of the Cowboys starters were out there, but it is a good sign at least. Now, before the break, Tony, Coach Boselli over here, Prisco, is benching Caleb Chason.
Well, it looks like they benched him. I mean, who came out first yesterday? Tony?
Tony, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Got you now.
Gotcha. But, Tony, who came out first?
I was letting Pete talk. The starters were Jihad Ward, and I'm pretty sure it was Dwan Smoot. I can't swear to that though.
Yeah.
I
can't remember.
It was.
They've got it listed as a nickel start, actually. So 4 linemen, 2 linebackers, and 3 corners and 2 safeties.
It was, but how do they list it starting?
Jihad Ward and Dwan Smoot were the ends that started.
There you go.
Yeah, before I get to the chase on point, I agree 100% with on Devon Hamilton. I agree. I think he's had a great camp. I think he's a really good player. I think this system is perfect for him. I think he's going to be dominating in the run this year, and I do think they're going to be very good against the run with those big bodies.
He's been the best. Don't you agree? In the preseason, he's been of the down guys. He's been the best of that group.
Yeah, he's been good. I mean, really good. Yeah, I mean, you can't say enough about
physical, powerful.
Yeah. So if you go switch gears to chase on, guys watching, he might be the 4th best defensive end on this team. I mean, Josh Allen, Jihad Ward. Those are my 2 starters. If everyone's healthy, Dwan Smoot, he's next. Caleb on Chase on probably 4th, and the rookie has a ton of upside. Kid out of where did we get him from?
Birmingham.
UAB.
UAB. Yeah. The kid at UAB has a ton.
He's fast.
Yeah. I just haven't seen it. I mean, now.
No, and I did watch the game from yesterday, and I wanted to see something. I didn't see anything. He gets caught up in
move. He got lay pressure.
Yeah, he gets caught up in a lot of stuff all the time. Like he stunted him. He stunted on the inside. They had a tackle end game, and he came inside. Do you remember that play? And he ran into a guy. He didn't do anything.
Well, I mean, if you look at just from pure production, and Urban's told us he wants to make this, take as much of the subjective nature out of it as possible and make it objective. Well, just from a production standpoint in the preseason, I mean, Jihad Ward's better. He's a better football player right now than Caleb on Chason. I'm not saying Chason can't become that or improve, but right now, I mean, where would you rank him, Pete? If you're looking at
the way you rank
position.
Him. Josh Allen's number 1, Ward's number 2, Smoot's number 3, and Chason's number 4. That's easy.
But I mean, so Chason has to be a special teams. He has to make plays in the special teams, and he's your rotational player to come in and try to get a fresh pass rush,
which
third obvious passing situation.
Which is starting to ask the question then.
What question are we asking?
Is he a buzz?
Oh, come on. We're not going to use the B word yet, Pete.
Second year, man. Second year.
But no, look, I thought he was, I'll be the first one to admit, I thought he was going to be an explosive edge rusher. And I haven't seen any of it. None of it. Zero. And in fairness to the kid, he was miscast last year, I thought. He's not a down defensive end. Got to play standing up.
Well, I think everyone agrees with that. But we just haven't seen, you know what? You don't see the explosiveness off the edge, like that just quickness and suddenness that gets on top of tackles and gives them trouble. And that's what you have to be able to do if you're going to play at that size.
What about there's not really violence either. You know what I mean? Like Jihad Ward plays a little bit with some violence.
Jihad Ward's 290 pounds.
Yeah, he's big.
I know,
big lower half.
He also plays bigger. You know what I mean? I mean, tougher. I don't know. Look, maybe Jason will turn it on during the regular season, but so far I haven't seen any of it, and I don't think I'm alone. Now, rank the defensive linemen how they played. So if you had to rank those interior guys, the down guys, go ahead and rank them. Hamilton's been the best of them.
Oh, Hamilton, Jamal Brown, and Robertson Harris are the 3 best. I mean, that's easy.
Malcolm Brown.
Malcolm
Brown.
Oh, what did I say?
Jamal.
Oh, sorry. Malcolm Brown. You know what I meant. Malcolm Brown. My bad.
But if you had to I think Robertson Harris is in veteranitis mode. I think he's going to turn it.
I mean, he's been. No, but I mean,
No, he's
watch him practice. Like, don't worry about. I mean, because sometimes those veterans are preseason games. But I mean, Malcolm Brown's played well. That penetration.
That's a good down three. And
the question is, how many? I mean, 3-4. We've been a 4-3 for so long. I got to think about how many interior guys do you keep? 6 or 7?
Probably 6. So who are they?
Yeah, that's the question. I mean, does Taven Bryant make the team?
He looked great against the Bouncers yesterday. I mean, he actually made some plays. If they have a Bouncers league, he'd be really good.
I'm trying to think.
Does Gostis make it?
I mean, he flashed early.
Yeah, Gostis, Doug Costin.
Costin was good last year.
Daniel Aquale. Jay Tufeli's going to make it. He's a draft pick, Tufeli.
He hasn't done anything either, has he? Remember before this, Jay Tufeli from USC. You're on.
I think. Oh, he's making the team. Yes.
Oh, he'd make the team, but he.
Oh, I think he looks good. I mean, I've been impressed watching him. You know, I think he has a little bit of a rush. He's a big, physical, strong kid. I forgot about. Yeah, he might be your 4th best. He's
probably 4. You might have 5, 6, and if you keep 7, they might come from another team.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Yeah, you're going to scour the waiver wire. You have the first choice, and if you have an upgrade of one of those guys.
But does Taven Bryant make the team?
Based on what he's done, because he missed so much time, the answer would be no. But he might make it and then go a day later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, depending on what else is out there. Can you trade him for anything?
Probably the same ham sandwich you got for Minshew.
Well, you might as well. I mean, if you're going to do that, if you're going to cut him, you might.
I don't think anybody's going to. Nobody's going to trade for him.
I don't think he. I mean, I just don't see him getting cut.
No. So okay. So if he doesn't get cut, that means that you have 5 automatics. So who's 6 and 7? They might be on somebody else's team.
They might. It's entirely possible. Let's take a time out.
There's no depth. Let's put it this way, JP. If they have a major injury to one of those down guys, they got problems.
We'll take a timeout. Let's come back. One more segment in the opening hour, and then it's hour number 2. We'll get to your social media questions a little bit later. Review the top stories of the day as well. Daly's play schedule heating up. Chris Tomlin, Carrie Job, and Bethel Music Tour September 3rd. Rod Wave September 9th. Sam Hunt September 10th. Trippie Redd September 18th. We'll find out in a moment which of these shows Tony Boselli will be sitting on the couch at Daly's Place. Get your tickets at dailysplace.com. And it's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
It may be football season, but pests are in full force here in Jacksonville. That's why you need Kingfish Pest Control's $99 knockdown treatment. Kingfish Pest Control will safely eliminate spiders, ants, roaches, and more for just $99, backed by their 100% customer satisfaction guarantee. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned with thousands of A-plus customer reviews. They're hands down the best pest control company in Metro Jacksonville and a proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home. Go to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com.
Any repeated physical activity puts stress on the body. Checking your phone, getting in the car, sitting at your desk, checking the phone, getting in your car, sitting at your desk, checking your phone for the 50th time today. If you do anything with regularity, you should get massaged with regularity. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Regular body work makes the body work with massage, skincare, and stretch. Come in today for more information or visit massageenvy.com for more details.
Committed to the team, committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Fans like you have been told that going all out is going too far. But fans like you know better. You're the kind of fan who loves the team as much as your pet, who paints yourself for game days and dyes your pet's fur to match. You are a rare breed. You are a pet fanatic, equal parts pet obsessed and diehard sports fan. At Pet Paradise, they're crazy about pets too. The official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pet Paradise. It's a new day in pet care.
The reality is, I don't want to take away from W, and they played well, but Dallas, didn't play a lot of their guys, and they played very vanilla on defense, as we did. But confidence, that's the most unique position in all of sport. And getting a little bit of a rhythm, we made that trade, and we're going with him. And he did not disappoint.
That's Urban Meyer after the game yesterday in Dallas discussing the quarterback position and the play of Trevor Lawrence. And welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, and Tony Boselli after a 34-14 Jaguars win in preseason week 3. What are you guys laughing at? What in the world? What?
So I agreed with everything he said until I like that he said, listen, they were playing vanilla. We played vanilla preseason, but confidence is good. And then when he had to add, and now that it's his job, going with him. Like, weren't we always going with him?
Going with him. Now he's going to get all the reps, and Pete will be happy.
I mean, my gosh. Again, the word I use for it is a charade. And the funny thing is, Tony, as many times as I pushed back on it, there were half the fans who pushed back on me. You know that?
Yeah, but why? What was their argument?
Oh, it's great to have competition. Urban knows what he's doing. Have you ever coached? My gosh, the same old stuff.
Well, have you ever coached? That's a fair question.
That's a great question.
No, I've coached. Have you?
I have coached. And at Episcopal. That's coaching.
I saw him slam his headset down one night, Pete, on the sideline. I did it.
I led a team to the playoffs.
I thought Brunel was the head coach.
Yeah.
Listen, I did all the work. Trust me, I did all the work. I paved the way for him to be a quarterback coach up in Detroit.
To be honest with, if you ask me if I've ever coached, I coach every damn day in my own mind. Okay, I mean, have I actually done it? No.
Pete. I've coached. I believe in competition. I also believe in this. Players know. Like, if you gave everybody a secret ballot where they could give an anonymous vote and saying, who is the starting quarterback of this team? The day after we drafted him, 100% said Trevor Lawrence. And then after the first OTA, 100%. And then after the first practice of training camp, 100%. And then after the second week, 100% after preseason game 1, 2. So, I mean, and Pete, you know this. I get coaches. I get what they're trying to do. I like it. And it is relevant at some positions, no doubt about it. But everybody knew that Trevor Lawrence was the starter until he wasn't. Meaning he had to lose the job, not win the job.
Was he going to lose? There should have been no conceivable way he lost the job.
That's my point, Pete. I'm agreeing with you. Like something like crazy would have to happen where he can't throw the ball.
Right. So aside from an injury, there's no way he should have ever lost the job. Ever. It should not have been a competition ever. And
I mean, listen,
look, you
now
guys,
Urban's
your
not-
first year, you
Urban's
had a
not-
competition. Quarterback competition. Berline and Brunell. The Patriots right now, Mac Jones and Cam Newton, legitimate starter. Carter Minshew was not a legitimate starter. There's no competition.
Listen, when I came in, there was Tom said there was a competition for the left tackle job, even though I was.
And we laughed at him. We laughed right in his face when he said that, too. I go, come on. Give me a break. Who was your competition? I'm trying to remember who was your back.
I can't even remember his name.
And what would you have had to done to lose that? How would you have lost that, Tony?
I would have had to trip. I don't know. Like,
And I remember him saying that. I looked at him like, what are you, crazy? Competition.
I remember the first day I went out with, and May says, "You're with the threes." I'm like, okay. I'm like, whatever. I'm
Like
okay.
throwing guys around on the practice field. Right.
And then you know what I said that day? Look, Boselli's a bust already. He's working with the three.
The best was the first day I showed up to camp. They told me I did enough to earn it during OTAs to be the starter now. I'm like, okay.
That kind of stupidity is where coaches cross the line.
Well, and players know.
Right.
All the teammates knew. And by the way, I knew.
Yeah, so what? So you're not going to do it? You're going to go through with it. Yeah, so what?
Yeah, but what's the purpose of it? That's all he's saying. What's the method to the madness?
And guess what? Doing it to a left tackle, big deal. I got the same amount of reps during OTAs. It was just with a different. It didn't matter because there's no timing. There's no
but
pad.
if you hadn't done it in practice in training camp, it would have mattered. If you didn't work with the group together in training camp, that would have mattered.
Yeah, but I missed 4 weeks of camp because of my knee injury, and I still had no issues.
That's right. When you flew back on the $5 million jet, and nobody else got to fly on.
Yeah, that's what you get when you're the second overall pick, Pete.
Yeah, except you don't get a starting job right away.
No, you got to earn it. You got to earn it, Pete. And I'm not trying to criticize Urban. I mean, he knows more about managing and leading a football team.
Me too. Of course he does.
Yeah, my whole point is that every guy on the team knew. I've been in these situations. You know who the starter is. Like most of the time, you go into practice. And Pete, how often did I tell you, walking off the field early in OTAs or camp, saying he can play, he can't play, he can
All
play,
the time.
he can't play,
all the time.
Like
all the time.
players know.
And here's the other thing: Urban Meyer knows 50,000 billion more things than I do about football. And he always will, and he always has. He's a professional coach. He's a great coach. He's been a great coach. But that doesn't mean everything he does is right. That's why I always get this pushback. Well, you're not a coach. You're not a coach. Look, I know what I think is right. And I can say that, and I can say the quarterback competition was not right. And if you wanted to explain it to me, I might understand it, but I don't see any rational reason to do that.
Agreed.
So
anyway, so yeah.
There you have it. I
JP,
think we figured it out.
About this segment, I can't remember because we kind of jumped on the comment.
We hijacked.
Shocking! Wow, the entire hour has been hijacked, and that's okay. It's good to have you guys both back. Though last week's show, 2 weeks ago, was a really highly rated show. Pete is back with us now, though. Where were you 2 weeks ago, Pete? Minnesota?
Minnesota. Yeah. I was all day with the Vikings. It was.
They're not going to be very good, are they?
Yeah, they are. They'll be better than you think. It's just the quarterback has that glazed look on his face in big game. That's the problem. I mean,
is it Keenan there?
You,
Keenan's there, right?
Zach?
Keenan McCardell's there.
You know, Kennedy Cole is there. He's there too. A lot of guys there.
How Is their defense going to be better, Pete?
Lot better. Look, they get back. Well, they signed Tomlinson from the Giants. He's a big power guy. They get Michael Pierce back from sitting out COVID. He opted out last year. Those two big bodies are nasty in the middle. Hunter comes back from the injury. He should be back getting sacks all over the place. Barr missed a lot. Think about this, Tony. That Christmas game when Alvin Kamara scored, what he scored 6 touchdowns in that game against them? One guy starting right now for them was started in that game. One guy. It was Harrison Smith. He's the only one. Yeah, so they'll be better on defense. It's just a matter of if the quarterback can throw the football or not in the big games. You know how that is.
What about I saw they signed Everson Griffin back too.
Yeah,
he'd be a good rotational guy for him.
Yeah, they got guys that can rotate in there. I'm telling you, they're going to be good on defense. And they drafted that Darisaw kid at left tackle. He's going to be the starting left tackle. He's a good player. They'll be better on the offensive line. So, look, I think they'll be the second team. They're not going to beat the Packers.
I think it's going to be the Lions under Mark Brunell's tutelage.
And then the offense blows up, and Brunell's a head coach in a couple of years. Can you imagine?
See?
I love it.
How about that? Wouldn't that be something?
I hope he hires his old friend to come do something.
We wouldn't have you on the show, and we would have ratings every Monday.
Have you on the show.
Yeah, ratings.
That's my only chance.
By the way, they might need you to go up there and work on Penei Sewell at right tackle. He's having problems.
My only chance of ever getting an NFL job is Mark Brunell getting a head coaching job.
You know what's funny? I say that to him sometimes. He's like, no.
On that note, let's come back. The second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour is coming up, including your social media questions. We'll go around the league as well. This is Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
So, it's happy hour. Let's talk whiskey options. Have you tried Citrus Distillers? Have you tried Citrus Distillers Limited Edition 2021 Barrel-Aged Jaguar Whiskey? Did you know it's only available for a limited time and manufactured in Jacksonville? Yes, Jacksonville. I said local whiskey. Try it on the rocks or in a Jack's Whiskey Sour. Citrus Distillers Jaguars Whiskey is available at local liquor stores, restaurants, and the Jaguar Stadium. Drink local, Jacksonville. Find recipes and events at jaguarswhiskey.com.
Proven IT implements a strategic game plan designed to streamline your business for maximum results. Make the winning choice with the official business systems partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Proven IT. Proven IT's technology experts use a customized approach to understand how to design, implement, and monitor solutions that optimize your business. Proven IT provides managed network services, document management solutions, office technology, voice and data solutions, and more. Visit ProvenIT.com to see how they can streamline your business. Proven IT, transforming workplace productivity.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the SUVs of the future for everyone, like Ford Escape, Edge, or Explorer, all named 2021 IIHS top safety picks with specific headlights. One of the many reasons why Ford has the freshest lineup of SUVs in America. Because the SUVs of the future aren't built for a few, they're built for America. Ford SUVs, drive one today. When equipped with available LED headlamps based on AutoSource Incorporated data obtained on 10520.
Yingling Traditional Lager. The beer for drinkers who know how to tap into their inner eagle and spread their wings. So prepare yourself for takeoff and let your night take flight. Liftoff. When your lips meet that cold, crisp amber lager, there's no looking back. So fly over the radar. Cannonball! Tonight's about the lager, and this lager is all about soaring higher. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony, Jaguars Today. All Jaguars, all NFL, all the time. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Yeah, today solved a lot of problems where you just feel, last week we felt awful walking off the field, especially in the first half. But you feel good now, and, you don't want to overdo it, but I'm overdoing it. We're going to enjoy a win and go home and get ready to play one that's going to count in the win-loss column.
We're enjoying the win on a Monday, a Victory Monday. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. And welcome into the second hour of the program. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. The news of the day reacting to that win over the Dallas Cowboys, 34-14. The Jaguars get it done in Dallas. Trevor Lawrence led a couple of touchdown drives in 3 possessions with the first group, 11 of 12 passing. The offense had some much-needed success. They had not found the end zone, in fact, as a starting offense until yesterday. Now, yesterday, there were a bunch of offensive linemen out of the game. 4 of the 5 starters were not available for the game. Trevor Lawrence, there were some questions, at least according to Urban Meyer, the day before the game, that would they even put him out there behind the offensive line. After the game, Trevor Lawrence commented on that group and how well they played.
Yeah, we talked about it. At the end of the day, we felt good with the 5 that we were running out there. It's obviously it wasn't our starting 5, but those guys have been busting their tail and they were ready. And in practice, they were ready, had a good week, and I felt good with it. And we had a good plan to where, we did take some shots, but also getting the ball out of my hands, staying on the move. That helped a lot. Run game was great. Like I said, I thought we just came out and executed well, and that always feels good.
Execution is important. They got that done yesterday, guys, and 11 of 12 passing, some nice throws from Lawrence, a couple of touchdowns, and everybody's feeling pretty chipper today, Tony.
Well, number one, you should. And I agree with Urban. While, maybe he's overdoing it, as he said, but you should. You got a young football team. Enjoy the win. Losing stinks. And, yes, it doesn't count, and he realizes it doesn't count. So you mentioned it, next, 2 weeks, they matter in the win-loss column. But I still think gaining confidence is good for a young football team. Gaining confidence, I don't care who you're playing, is good for a young quarterback. And I don't want to minimize the decision that Urban had to make either, because I don't think it was just, cut and dry. A lot of guys would have said, hey, I'm not running out my franchise quarterback, my first overall pick, with the backup offensive line outside of, just the right tackle. And so I think that was a tough decision because you had to weigh, getting the reps, which I think we all argued earlier is important for Trevor Lawrence. That against not having your starters out there and the risk that you kind of put the young quarterback in. And I do think that Darrell Bevel had a very good plan. They moved the pocket. The ball got out. They took shots. They were smart about it. Play action pass. And so, hats off to Urban Meyer and Darrell Bevel because it's, we minimize it sometimes, but those are big decisions. And as a coach that if it goes the wrong way, it's all on you.
Do you think he wanted to play him so that he could go into the season? I mean, if he doesn't play, the lasting image is the New Orleans game. And that wasn't great. So, kind of he had to balance playing behind that line and having his quarterback feel good going into the regular season. Because I sense a different guy, even after he's playing against backups, but he was a different guy yesterday as he came off the field. You know what I mean, Tony? If he goes into the regular season with that New Orleans game as his last, game action, I don't necessarily think he feels as confident and as good as he did.
Listen, it's always good having confidence in getting, having that feeling of success and seeing it and then watching it on tape. No doubt, Pete. But I also think Trevor Lawrence is playing a lot of big games. I think he'd been confident regardless. I mean, I don't think you get to his level without having an inner confidence, an inner drive that thinks you can overcome anything. But yeah, overall, I think it was a positive, and I think that's one of the things that Urban Meyer was weighing.
Jaguars defense yesterday, stout again up front, especially early. Now, remember, as Urban said, they didn't play many of any of the starters in Dallas yesterday, but they got some things done up front early, as they have throughout the preseason so far. I guess the question is, though, is that real? Because they haven't played a true starting running game yet in the preseason. So, Pete, is this a good start? I'm not going to not give them credit. They've done a good job considering who they're lining up against. But can that translate when it gets real week 1, week 2, week 3?
Well, I mean, it's hard to really evaluate that because you don't know who they were playing. You know, they're playing guys that aren't going to be in the league. And a lot of those guys aren't going to be on practice squads either. That's why it's such a tough evaluation. I didn't think Sidney Jones had a great game yesterday. I thought that was. I mean,
if your corner has that many tackles, that means the guy in front of him has the football on you.
Am I wrong, Tony? Did you think he struggled a little bit?
Well, I mean, he gave up that touchdown. Wasn't great man coverage,
and then he got beat on another one in front of him. I don't know. It wasn't a great day for him, but I think defensively, it's been a hard evaluation of them. I think the run defense is better because they got better players. They're going to be more physical. They're bigger. You know, you heard Urban talking about that. They wanted to get bigger. They're bigger guys.
Well, I'll say it this way. Go back to 2017. The last time this team had success. I remember Logs and I were talking in the preseason. They couldn't run the ball an inch. Offensive line was struggling, and Jeff and I thought it was a major issue going into the season. And they came out and just hammered the Texans and ended up being a very good running team that year. We also, if you remember the preseason, that vaunted defense struggled to get off the field in preseason.
Yeah, you can't really evaluate.
That's my whole point. So, yes, did they have success? They haven't run the ball great offensively. Does that mean they're not going to be a good run team? No. They've been great against the run defensively. Does that mean they're going to be the 85 Bears against the run? No. Because you don't know. I mean, a lot of it's matchups. A lot of it's who's playing on the other team. You know you're not getting the best. You know they're vanilla. You know you're vanilla. You don't know really what you have, especially when you have a team that has been a bunch of new bodies, new veterans, new pieces, and a really young team. You're not going to know until, I would argue, you're not going to know until probably till week 2, 3, 4 what this team really is.
You know, the offensive line, if I'm not mistaken, they haven't played together at all, have they?
Norwell hasn't played.
Yeah, he hasn't played.
Right.
That's right.
Right. So aside from training camp, they haven't played at all. And that's
but Pete, it's the same offensive line they had last year. I'm not worried about that.
But in the run game, you got to get a little bit of you got to get the rust off you to start banging some people a little bit. I mean, I think you know better than I do, but I would think that would be the case.
It's not the end of the world because you have veterans and guys who played together before.
They ran the ball last year well. As a run team. I mean, they pushed people around a little bit.
They had a 1,000-yard rusher. I mean, at times they were very good. It's hard to feel good about anything when you're 1-15, but yeah, I mean,
how do they open on the offensive line opening day? Is everybody going to be around for that?
Word is, I mean, I think everyone's back. I mean, that's what that's what they're indicating. I mean, I can't tell you for sure that's the case.
Well, they were working a little bit last week on the side, right? Kind of, they could have, if it was a regular season game, maybe they go.
I think so, yeah, because Norwell has felt like that, I think, for a couple of weeks. Urban's just kind of holding him out, veteran type of play. And Linder, it feels like the similar idea. And then Cam Robinson turned the ankle and the same idea there. And if Can is back off the COVID-19 list, he's still on the list right now.
By the way, that competition never really materialized with Walker Little. He was terrible against New Orleans.
Yeah, I think he played better yesterday. And I mean, he's a work in progress. He's got to get better with his hands. And I think a lot of that, I mean, not to throw my fellow media members under the bus, but there was a little bit of a combination of, the media hyping up everything he did during practice. And then the head coach coming out, and every time someone asked about Walker Little, he was very effusive in his praise. Now, he could have been doing that to motivate Cam Robinson and Jawan Taylor to get them going a little bit. But, I mean, clearly right now, Cam Robinson is a better left tackle than Walker Little. The interesting thing is, I mean, Jawan Taylor has struggled at times, but we have not seen, outside of a few practices, Walker Little getting many reps at right tackle.
You know, it's funny. As soon as you say, I hate to do this, but you just did it. You just threw a whole media team, the Jacksonville media, who's there every day under the bus.
How about this though, Pete? He said his fellow media members. That's a win for us.
Oh, he's given into that a couple years ago. That game is over.
I mean, come on, JB, that's old news. I did give it a long time ago.
But you just threw Durago and Mark Long and Osher. Who else? You threw them all under the bus.
Well, I mean, it's true. I mean, was that? Am I wrong, Pete? I mean,
no, because I would listen to some of those shows, and I thought Walker Little was the next coming of you, the way they were talking. And then when I saw him, he was a big man, but there's something off, and it's going to take him a little while. Cam Robinson is the starting left tackle. The line will be exactly the same way it was a year ago. Exactly.
Agreed.
Let's come back in a moment.
By the way, who's the tight end? Are they still going to get a tight end? The Bucs released a guy today that would be interesting if they claimed him. Tanner Hudson. He can catch the ball. Can't block, but he can catch the ball.
I mean, I think you got to. I mean, it's the weakest position on the team. They got better as a blocking tight end, but are they better with the same group in Manhurts than the same group in Eifert? Are they better now than they were last year?
And by the way, Manhurts wasn't good blocking last week against New Orleans either.
My question is, Pete, I'm asking you, are they better?
Are they better? No, they're not better.
I don't think so either.
All right.
But Tanner Hudson was cut by the Bucs, caught a bunch of passes. The criticism of is he can't block. You don't need him to block. You need him to catch the ball. That would be one you claim on waivers, I think.
We'll get into that discussion a little bit and some of the other positions that could be tough to cut for the Jaguars, and how many you keep at certain spots might affect another position group like tight ends as well. That's all coming up when we get to Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. It's coming up next. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Titos Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to TitosVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. TitosVodka.com.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com. The Land Rover Defender story began with the simple thought of creating an exceptionally capable off-road vehicle, becoming the go-anywhere, do-anything all-terrain machine. Today, there's a new Land Rover Defender, the toughest and most advanced Land Rover vehicle ever. From the beginning, Land Rover knew the new Defender was capable of great things. Motor Trend's 2021 SUV of the Year is just the latest example. Test drive the new Land Rover Defender today at Land Rover Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard, or go to LandRoverJacksonville.com. Land Rover, above and beyond. You expect Jags fans to say, Duval. You expect the Beard Stadium's going to be cold, the dogs will be hot, but what you don't expect is an airport hotel with a renovated, inviting lobby, a cool bar, and crowded restaurant, or 10,000 square feet of space just waiting for your next family or business event. At the Crowne Plaza Jacksonville Airport, you should always expect to be surprised. Book online or call 1-877-2-CROWN. That's 1-877-227-6963.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has been a leader in direct mail for over a decade. Using the latest technology, Kessler Creative can now reach your ideal audience even more effectively. Choose between a collection of response channels from email and SMS texting to land pages designed to engage and initiate responses with potential customers. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
A lot has changed in 60 years, but there's one thing that remains the same. Our commitment to our customers and to our community. There's no place like Jacksonville, and there's no place like Gate. Thank you for allowing us to serve you, past, present, and future. Now through August 31st, Jags fans can enjoy 2 of your favorite roller grill items for just $2 at participating Gate locations. Get them while they're hot. Gate, serving up more.
When Jaguars news breaks, you'll hear about it first on 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's different. I'm not used to it. You build relationships with guys, and it just sucks. Seeing guys go. It's just the nature of the business. You can't keep everybody, and guys. There's certain situations that are better for them, and the team. You just never know. But that's just part of it. You got to keep going, and the team that you do have, you got to make the most of it. But yeah, so we had a receiver coming, Devon Smith, today. I think he got here yesterday and dove and made that 60-yard catch. I think it was in the first half. I mean, just stuff like that is crazy. He just got here, goes out there, runs a go, catches a 60-yard pass. Stuff like that is just so weird. You don't get used to it, but I really like the group we have. It sucks that we got to cut the team down. I don't know. Obviously, I don't make those decisions. I'm glad I don't, because we got a lot of guys that deserve to be on this team, and it's just tough. So we'll see how that goes.
Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence after the game in Dallas yesterday, and welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday afternoon. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli, and time now for Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients, award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. Tougher cut for the Jaguars, guys. Wide receiver or safety? Tony, what do you think?
Wide receiver or safety? I think they're both tough for different reasons. I think you got probably multiple guys at the safety position that probably will, you might get a guy or two who's cut and go play somewhere else. I'm not sure that's the case at wide receiver. I think after your top 3, I think it becomes difficult, and you are in. I wouldn't be surprised if you're picking up a receiver from someone else's roster that gets cut. I think one of the things that they have to do at receivers, they got to get faster and more speed. I mean, that's why the whole Devon Smith thing, him coming in, is interesting. I'm not saying he's going to make the team. He's been here for a total of 2 days, but the kid can run, and he showed that. And I'm not sure why he was out on the street and not working, but the guy can fly. So I think they're both tough cuts. I look at the wide receiver position. And tough. I mean, Pete, tough because you have to have 5 or 6 receivers.
Okay, let's cut them.
Let's cut them. Not be tough because, oh my gosh,
they're cutting a really good player. All right, let's go through the receivers. The top 3 are in.
Right. Who would you? Who's 4, 5, and 6? I mean, Agnew.
You got.
Are you counting Agnew as a receiver?
No, that's a return guy. I mean,
well, here's my question about Agnew. Why did he ever even catch a punt or anything out in preseason? I thought you got him some. That was weird to me.
Urban said he wanted to. He can't afford to lose that guy, so that's why he didn't put him out there much.
He's the only guy who can.
Well, wait, you can't afford to lose Trevor Lawrence either. You put him out there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but he's not taking shots like a punt returner, Tony.
I'm saying go out there and just say, hey, go fair catch a few in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Just get used to it.
He's done it before, though.
Yeah, he's not a rookie.
All right. So if you count him, he's a 4th guarantee. So where's 5, 6, and 7 come from? I don't think Colin Johnson's making it. I've heard that those rumblings have been going on for a while that he ain't making it.
I don't think he did anything in camp where I'd keep him. I mean, if you're going by production, I don't know how you cut Jeff Cotton Jr.
You don't. At bare minimum, he's on the practice squad, but you don't right away. You might. Okay, like the Cardinals cut Keyshawn Johnson today and kept Andy Isabella for now. Keyshawn Johnson's an intriguing guy. I take a look at him.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's one or two receivers that are on other teams right now that are going to be here.
All right, Philip Dorsett. Philip Dorsett's making it.
Why do you say that?
Because he had a long catch yesterday?
Well, because he was brought in here in this offseason, and he's got some speed.
Well, he's one of the only guys who can run, though.
Right, he's speed guy.
Yeah, but Pete, he has speed, but he's been between the – where's he been? The Colts, the Patriots, anywhere else?
Colts, Patriots, and we're missing one, I think. But he runs, though.
Okay, right, but does he play fast? It's like, did you ever watch Philip Dorsett in when he played for the Colts or the Patriots? You're like, oh my gosh, like don't if he gets the ball in his hands, watch out. He's gone.
Okay, so you cutting him then?
I'm not saying that. It's hard. I don't know.
Well, you're right though. The 6 and 7 aren't on the roster right now.
How about Laquan Treadwell?
I didn't see anything.
Why? How are you going to keep him?
I'm just going through the roster. I thought we were going through the roster.
The other thing, JP, if you don't keep him, who's picking him up? He's been out there for 80,000 years.
How about Pharaoh Cooper?
Pharaoh Cooper looks slow to me for some reason. Didn't he had a major knee injury a couple years ago, I think, and he hasn't been the same guy.
Pharaoh Cooper only if you're keeping him because he can play special teams. He's a teams guy. He's a backup punt returner, kickoff returner. He probably could be one of those guys who he's
I don't think they keep him.
I'm just saying that's why you would keep him.
Yeah.
Josh Hammond has been productive. If you're going by production, he's the leading receiver.
You know what I worry about Josh? You know what I worry about Josh Hammond? And he has been productive. He did a very good training camp. And you're right, JP. If you go just by production, he should make it. But I worry about Josh Hammond being one of those guys in the preseason who's a good route runner. He's smart, but he's not explosive. And does he get swallowed up in the regular season?
He's practice squad. He'll be practice squad. The other kid will make it before he does. He can run a little bit.
So here's the other question. That's the wide receiver. So
What's
let's switch.
Tavon Austin? What's Tavon Austin's situation?
Right. Good point. It was a quad strain, I believe, was the diagnosis when he went down the other day at practice.
I mean, he actually was one of the few guys that brought some speed to that offense.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see his status, I guess,
keep
this
him?
week.
If he's healthy, do you keep him?
Yeah, maybe because he can do stuff out of the backfield too. I mean,
right? You can gimmick up some crap for him.
Yeah, maybe I would.
All right, that's wide receiver.
I think you got to look across the league though and find out. There's going to be some fast, good players who are going to get cut.
Let's move to safety now, guys. We've talked through the wide receiver position.
The people are going to try to stash in the practice squad.
Take us through the safety position now. The strong safety spot had 4 co-number ones again on the depth chart this week, guys. Where do you go?
Well, they're playing Rudy Ford in the dime. He's the dime. He's playing next to Miles Jack, if you notice that.
So he's going to be on the roster.
So he's in.
Cisco's going to be in. I think Cisco's ultimately – I think by midpoint of the season, he's your starting strong.
Jenkins is in.
Well, yeah, he's a lock.
So those three are in. Who's 4?
Question: Are you keeping 4 or 5?
Depends on special teams.
Yeah.
If you keep Wingard, you keep him for special teams, right?
What about Daniel Thomas?
I'd keep Daniel Thomas in front of Wingard. I think Daniel Thomas makes the team as your 4th safety.
That's who I would keep, and then Wingard's gone.
So that would make Wingard gone, Wilson gone, and Josh Jones gone.
Well, if you keep 5, then it comes down to Josh Jones or Wilson.
So you got Wingard cut.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, that's an end of an era.
I'm just saying. I mean, you asked me.
It's really rude, Pete.
What'd you say?
It's really rude, Pete. It's really rude, man.
Well, I mean, according to PFF, he's like good in the back end. I don't know. That's what I'm just telling you.
Okay, there you have it.
I'm serious.
Tough cuts.
Look at JP. JP gets all mad when
the kid plays hard.
He's an all person.
What do you want?
It's not personal. You asked me. You only can keep 5 guys.
JP, we're not saying anything bad about the guy.
Cut the team. JP. Who do you want to cut? Why don't you open up your mouth, big mouth? Who are you going to cut?
I'm good. I'm letting you guys do this.
He's not going to cut anybody. Everybody's going to make. He's going to have 100 guys on his roster.
We're going to have the biggest practice squad on the planet when we come.
You're too nice, JP. You're too nice. It's a cruel business.
It is. It is a cold business.
Who do you keep at offensive line? And do you keep 8 or 9?
9. I keep the 5 starters: Shatley,
Walker Little. That's 7.
And then you got a decision. I personally, I would keep 77 over Barch.
I have another question.
Yeah.
We mentioned tight end a moment ago.
That's a tough one.
We mentioned tight end. You're keeping an extra receiver if you count Agnew in there, maybe. So do you take it away from tight end? You only keep 3 tight ends? What are you keeping? Where do you get that one?
You're keeping Manhurts, O'Shaughnessy, and who?
Probably Farrell.
And the
rookie.
And the rookie.
That's it. And then the rest of them go.
That's it. So you're keeping 3.
Unless you pick up Tanner Hudson. I already made that claim for him. At least he can catch the ball.
Yeah,
There's another one. There's a chance Ian Thomas could get cut in Carolina, too.
How about this Jordan Franks, the tight end in Cleveland, got released today?
And that's Felipe Franks' brother. He had a good couple good games, too. He's interested, too.
Isn't he? Is he a...
he can catch it. He caught a bunch of passes yesterday. Yeah, he caught a bunch of passes yesterday against Atlanta.
I think
he'll pick up a tight end and make it 4.
Yeah. I think there's 3 to 5 guys in other rosters right now that'll be Jaguars.
There you have it. That is...
You're low.
Oh, more than that.
More than 5?
Receivers. It might be one offensive lineman for sure.
No offensive lineman.
What if it was... Yeah, maybe not. Okay. Tight end, 3.
One tight end. I'm saying 1 tight end, 1 receiver for sure. That's 2. I think there's a running back. That's 3.
Okay. Defensive line, backup defensive line possibility. Well, David Bryant against somebody else? What are you talking about? Come on, Tony. Yeah.
Maybe.
So 1. There's 5. Not because they're not going to get released. Corner, no. Safety, no. So maybe 5. You're right, 4 or 5.
I said 3 to 5.
You might have 2 defensive linemen, by the way.
It's a
How
lot
about
of
linebacker?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they like quarterback. They like Miles Jack, they like Damon Wilson. And who's your third? What's the rookie they got? Chappelle, is he a rookie?
Yeah, Chappelle Russell.
Rudy Ford is the dime linebacker, so you don't, he's like the cover linebacker.
You're keeping 4 inside guys. So the 3 they're keeping for sure are Damon Wilson, Miles Jack, and Shaq Quarterman.
And the other one's on another team probably. You practice squad the other kid. So it could be 5, like I said. You're just trying to be stubborn and hope it's 3.
No, I said 3 to 5. Number 1. I asked you, is it more than 5? And you said yes, more than 5.
Yeah, it'll probably be more. It will be more than 5.
Okay.
Well, we settled that.
How many quarterbacks do you keep? You keep 2, right?
I'd keep 3.
Keeping them all.
You can keep Luton on the practice squad.
Not with COVID. Yeah, I think he could get claimed. I think he could get claimed, and with COVID, I want 3 quarterbacks
on the active roster.
I mean, I think so.
Wow.
I mean, unless you're sure Luton is not getting picked up, and I mean, I think Luton is a big arm. I mean, he played well in the preseason. He showed flashes last year.
So, okay, I cut the offensive line. You didn't cut it.
Yeah, starting 5, Walker.
Does it come down to between Barch and
Will Richardson's on the team? Will Richardson's on the team. That's 8, and if it's 9, it's between Wallace Sims and Ben Barch.
Interesting.
One backup tackle, or you count Will Richardson as a swing guy to play both?
I think they feel comfortable. Will Richardson play all 4 positions.
Now, I will say, Urban after the game said that they didn't have 5 of the top 6 linemen, and Barch did not play. Does Barch count on that?
No, it's between Barch and Wallace Sims.
No, I'm saying of the 5 guys missing from the game. You know what I mean?
What JP's saying, I think he's right. I think they like Barch. They probably like Barch more than I do.
Barch got a ton of. Didn't he get most of the reps at left guard?
He did. And the only reason he didn't play is beat up. I think that they have him in front of. They see more upside Barch than they do Wall Sims because I think they think Barch is a better athlete, can move better.
Well, he is a better athlete, but the other guy's much more physical.
Yeah, so I ultimately think they keep 9 to spend Barch, and I think they try to get Wall Sims on practice squad.
That's a big man. Sometimes
Large.
you see guys like that go to other teams and end up being a starter. You know what I mean? He gets a little seasoning, and he's a big physical man.
He is 6'5", 360, Trevor Wallace.
And you know
Sims.
what? They pulled him a couple times yesterday, and he actually got outside, got in and did it. He's capable of doing it. I just think he's a tad slow off the ball. I don't know why.
Yeah, he is. He struggled to get a holding penalty on the backside. He couldn't get his head around, and so that's an issue. They like Barch better. Barch will make the team. If not, and I think Wall Sims is on practice squad.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up here. That was Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. Did you guys get your care package from the?
No, not yet.
Did you?
No,
I've got nothing.
No,
they sent it all to JP, and he took it all.
No, I didn't get a drop. I got nothing. At some point, maybe we'll look into that. Let's come back in a moment. And social media questions. Tony's favorite on Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Titos Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to TitosVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. TitosVodka.com.
Hi folks, Frank Frangie here to tell you where to find the most authentic Southern Pit barbecue in all of Jacksonville. That's right, Bono's. For 72 years, Bono's has been smoking real pit barbecue right here on the First Coast. Smoked for hours, served in minutes, and always cut to order. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at TIAA Bank Field. Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you want great barbecue, head to Bono's today. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
So, it's happy hour. Let's talk whiskey options. Have you tried Citrus Distillers? Have you tried Citrus Distillers Limited Edition 2021 Barrel-Aged Jaguar Whiskey? Did you know it's only available for a limited time and manufactured in Jacksonville? Yes, Jacksonville. I said local whiskey. Try it on the rocks or in a Jack's Whiskey Sour. Citrus Distillers Jaguars Whiskey is available at local liquor stores, restaurants, and the Jaguar Stadium. Drink local, Jacksonville. Find recipes and events at jaguarswhiskey.com.
Scrubbing soon to a location near you. You know and love the Scrubble Stars at the Town Center, Fleming Island, and Atlantic Beach. Now get ready for 4 new locations scrubbing soon this year, featuring Kernan, San Jose, Racetrack Road, and Oakleaf. Give your car the glitz and glam it deserves at the best car wash in town with free car prep, vacuums, window cleaner, and more. You can also catch us at every Jags home game and cool down at the Scrubbies Misty Arch. Drive in to see us now and in the future at our Scrubbing Soon locations. Scrubbles, trust the bow tie. You'll know quality once you arrive.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the SUVs of the future for everyone. Like Ford Escape, Edge, or Explorer. All named 2021 IIHS top safety picks with specific headlights. One of the many reasons why Ford has the freshest lineup of SUVs in America. Because the SUVs of the future aren't built for a few. They're built for America. Ford SUVs, drive one today. When equipped with available LED headlamps based on AutoSource Incorporated data obtained on 10520.
Jacksonville Sports Talk for Jacksonville sports fans. 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Every off day we have probably longer meetings than most.
I have some new coach. I have a guy named Chris Ash, Charlie Strong. You have some guys that are college guys that are learning in our safety room. I mean, all those guys are playing well. And then Tosh got, that defensive line, you got your first, but there's a group of players in there that are playing very well. And then the receivers, today, I mean, it's going to be tough. Like, if you're an insubordinate guy or just kind of a pain in the rear end, I'd never mind moving those guys on. But we don't have that in that locker room. So it's going to be tough.
Head coach Urban Meyer after the win in Dallas yesterday. The roster cut's coming down tomorrow officially from 80 down to 53. And this is Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli, and every week it's our favorite segment. We put out the bat signal early in the day, and here are the best we've come up with. For social media questions today from @FlixVonNolm. How will or should the hashtag Jaguars use Cisco and Jenkins in the regular season? At the beginning of the preseason, they used Cisco more as a strong safety, while I had the impression that he played more at free safety with the second team yesterday. What do you think?
I think he's more of a free safety when he's healthy. And
who's that?
Andre Cisco.
Oh, Cisco.
Yeah,
he's a center fielder, great ball skills.
Right, and Jenkins can play the box. So I think, more teams are using the split safeties now than they ever used to anyways. But I think that's how they'll end up playing them. How do you think Cisco starts by October, Tony?
Yeah, I think midseason.
Yeah, I agree. I was even yesterday. You could see he has the range, and they need range back there.
He's been all around the ball in the preseason too, like deflections and passes defense and everything.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a really good player. It's just a matter of it seems like he's getting over that injury, and sometimes that could be psychological. But I would say by midseason, I agree with Tony. Cisco and Jenkins will be the starting safeties.
All right, our next question from @JagsKnowlesMagic. When does Maurice Jones-Drew get on the wall? Well, Pete, you're on the wall. Or Pete is not on the wall. Tony is on the wall.
No, I'm not on the wall.
I have no idea. I mean, he's one of the great Jaguars of all time, and he's been outstanding. Excuse me. My guess is, I bet you they try to get a defensive guy up there next. I have no inside information, but if you're asking me, Maurice Jones-Drew, one of the great Jags of all time, deserves to be up there one day.
He will get in, and he deserves to be in there, but they're forgetting somebody from back in yesterday. Come on. Keenan needs to be on that wall.
I don't disagree. What about Rasheed Matthews, one of the best defensive players ever played the game here?
I think Rasheed, Keenan. I think Keenan should be the next one to go in. I know they're going to try and put a defensive player in, but I think Keenan should be the next one to go in. I'm on record of that. I pushed for it. I think Keenan, then Maurice, and then Rasheed. I think that's how you put him in. I mean, if you had to rank them at their positions, who was better? Was Maurice a better running back than Keenan was a wide receiver? That's a tough one.
Ooh.
Tough. Wouldn't you argue that at the corner position during his time, Rasheed was one of the better corners in the NFL?
Yeah, that's a tough. They're all close together. All three of them should be in. And then Meester will go in eventually for longevity and being a good player. But he wasn't as good a player as those guys were. Would you agree with that, Tony?
Yes.
Okay. And then will Brackens ever go in?
I don't
his
know.
career's not long enough.
Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
Just ask the Steelers what they think about Rasheed Matthews, by the way. Our next question from @GBoss904. Who is Trevor's go-to guy this year?
It will be Chark when he gets playing.
I think it's Marvin Jones.
Really?
Yeah, you might. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? You might be right. The more I think about it, the veteran, lean on him. You're right. I'm probably right.
He's been reliable in camp, really good. So maybe. How about Chenault? What about Chenault?
Let's just put this out there. Chenault's a guy that can move the sticks. I don't think he's going to scare you down the field. Here's one. This is a big year for DJ Chark. Would you agree?
It's a contract year, of course.
It's a huge year. I mean, for all the reasons. I mean, He had a good year 2 years ago, down year last year, contract year, called out by the head coach in the offseason. It's a huge year.
Yeah. I think he's going to have a good year. I do.
How huge?
Well, it's with three receivers kind of splitting things. I don't think he's not a number one. He's not the elite receiver. He's not, the Julio Jones and Hopkins and that group, but he could be in the next group, that middle, that, just underneath those guys group. The problem is his body language was terrible last year. And you could tell he hated playing with that quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. You could tell he hated playing with him. And so now he's finally got a quarterback. It'll be interesting to see how he responds to that. It seems like he was off to a good start before he got hurt. So let's see. I think it's a good year for him. I think he's the guy who can stretch the defense vertically. The other guys, Marvin Jones doesn't have great speed. He's good at getting down the field, but he doesn't have great. He's more like Keenan. He knows how to get open. And the other guy, he's just a physical brute. Chenal. What did you call him today?
He's a beast. He's a beast, Pete.
Yeah, but I mean,
you see the run? He dragged two guys 10 yards down the field.
See, Tony's frowning, and I agree with him. A beast is a guy that scares the daylights out of you. He doesn't scare the daylights.
Let me tell you a beast. A beast is DeAndre Hopkins.
That's a beast.
Julio Jones is a beast.
Okay, well maybe I misread. I guess the way I meant it is physically. Physically, he's a big physical player.
Yes, there's no doubt about that.
Who is he Anquan Bolden like?
Well, he hasn't put him. I mean, now fair. I mean, Anquan Bolden had, like in his first 5 years, though, Anquan Bolden had like the most catches in a 5-year period.
The guy's only been in the league for a year, Tony.
I'm not saying he can't be, but I just why do we have to how about we give him a chance to go perform before we anoint him as Anquan Bolden?
I'm not anointing him. I'm just asking the question: is he like him? Is his style like that?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay,
yes, that's a good comparison.
Now calm down over there a little bit. I got his blood pressure up again. My gosh, I worry about you sometimes.
Yeah. Tell us more about Walker Little while you got it. Okay, at Duval_43, Jeff Cotton made some catches I haven't seen since Jimmy Smith. He looks more explosive than Colin Johnson with size at 6'2", 205. Thoughts on him making the 53? I just want to see more of those catches. #was fun. #Duval.
Well, if it's based on production, he's been better than Colin Johnson. I mean, there's no way two ways about it. The guy makes catches. He gets open. He has good body control. I mean, this ended up not being a catch, but it was, I mean, his ability to go find the ball when it's in the air is very impressive. And I think this is the one I really loved. He goes off the back, stops, goes over the top of the defensive back to make the play.
What about that? What about that comparison to Jimmy?
Yeah,
I knew that'd get Pete going.
That's a little much, but that's okay.
Same size, though.
Is he fast? Is Jeff Cotton Jr. fast? I don't know.
He said he's listed what, JP, 6'2", 205, is that right?
Let's see. He is 6'2", 204. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
That's what Jimmy was, wasn't he, Tony?
Can he run? I mean, Jimmy was as fast as how fast Jimmy was? Jimmy was faster than the other guy, fast guy on the field. Whoever was the fastest on the other team, he was faster.
Yeah. Jimmy was fast.
I'll say this.
This guy's not.
Cotton ran a 4.3840 at his pro day at Idaho.
That's pretty good.
I would keep him.
I would too. I said it during the game broadcast yesterday. I mean, the kid just makes plays. Why wouldn't you? Like who?
Yeah.
Who's been better?
To be honest with you, none of them have been better than him. Nobody.
Keep him.
And he signed late. Like he signed after camp started. There was some injuries early, and they brought him in, and he's been very good. Let's get one final question in tonight. This is from Zach Bierman. Which positions do the Jaguars prioritize on the waiver wire, and what is the likely impact a waiver wire addition will have? Now, that's the trick here, right? It's not going to overnight just, hey, we're all of a sudden the best, tight end group in football with a waiver wire. There's a reason they're not playing for another team, too.
Yeah, but some teams have more depth at tight end. Look at the Bucs. The Bucs cut Tanner Hudson, but they have Gronkowski, Brate, and O.J. Howard.
Yeah.
And so Tanner Hudson becomes a viable player in the Jaguars' system, I believe. I think they should pick him up. I think he gets the football. They're prioritized tight end. We mentioned it. Wide receiver, running back, defensive line. I think that's where their priorities will be in the waiver claim. And by the way, they're first.
Yeah.
They have the first claim.
What is that for the first 2 weeks? 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
Yeah. For the first
three.
Three. So, but here's the other thing, Tony. This year, if you claim a guy tomorrow or when he's cut on Wednesday, after cut day on Wednesday, you get him for a week and a half before you even have to kick off. Normally, you claim a guy and he's there for 3 days. 4 days.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
There you have it. Social media questions are in the book for the evening. Thank you for the submissions today on Twitter. We'll get to more of those coming up next week as the Jaguars prepare for Week 1 against the Houston Texans. We'll come back with a look around the National Football League, and it's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Titos Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat even after all these years. Head over to TitosVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. TitosVodka.com.
At ViStar, we believe in better. And what's better than saving up to $5,000 in closing costs when you buy or refinance a home? With a ViStar no closing costs mortgage, you'll get a great rate, no hidden fees, and like the name says, no closing costs up to $5,000. If you believe saving money is better, join ViStar. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Offer not available on VA and FHA mortgages. For more information, visit ViStarCU.org.
A lot has changed in 60 years, but there's one thing that remains the same: our commitment to our customers and to our community. There's no place like Jacksonville, and there's no place like Gate. Thank you for allowing us to serve you, past, present, and future. Now through August 31st, Jags fans can enjoy 2 of your favorite roller grill items for just $2 at participating Gate locations. Get them while they're hot. Gate, serving up more.
In America, the future belongs to everyone, so we built the SUVs of the future for everyone, like Ford Escape, Edge, or Explorer, all named 2021 IIHS top safety picks with specific headlights. One of the many reasons why Ford has the freshest lineup of SUVs in America, because the SUVs of the future aren't built for a few, they're built for America. Ford SUVs, drive one today. When equipped with available LED headlamps based on AutoSource Incorporated data obtained on 10520.
It's time for sunshine and summer showers, so it's more important than ever to make sure you call Crystal Clean for all your waterproofing needs. Waterproofing can extend the life of your building by keeping water outside where it belongs. And that Florida sun can beat up your business's paint job. Crystal Clean's painting services can bring your building back to life. From waterproofing to painting, schedule Crystal Clean today. Call 904-220-3337 or go to crystalclean.com. You don't have to worry when it's Crystal Clean.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
The station that the Jaguars listen to, 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday afternoon. JP Shadrick with Tony Boselli and Pete Prisco. Glad you're along for the ride today as the Jaguars knocked off the Dallas Cowboys in the final preseason tune-up yesterday in Dallas. 34-14 the final. Trevor Lawrence looked good. 4 of the 5 starting offensive linemen were out. A couple receivers, a handful of other guys as well, and they battled through, got down the field, got a couple of touchdowns in 3 possessions as a first-team group. That's a good sign and a good taste for the Jaguars with now 2 weeks until the regular season begins at NRG Stadium in Houston, Week 1. Let's go around the National Football League. And speaking of the Houston Texans, the rumors that Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson could be dealt soon. The Dolphins are one team named, Pete. What are some others? There's a handful of these teams, right?
Well, Carolina was in it, but I think they said they're out now. And Philly was another one, and he doesn't want to go to Denver. So I think that's pretty much it. Leaves Miami. And if you're the Miami Dolphins, how do you sell that to your fan base right now? How do you sell trading for a guy who has all those legal issues hanging over his head? I don't understand how you could do that. I wouldn't do it. And why would you rush to do it?
Yeah, what's the hurry? I mean, I would not trade for him right now, no matter what. I mean, unless they want to give him to me for like one first rounder, like it's like just, okay, I'll roll the dice because I might get a generational player for one first rounder, but I'm not mortgaging the future for a guy that, let me tell you what, Pete, and you know this as well as I do. If these convictions come down, he might never play again.
No, you're right. If he's convicted, and we, again, we don't know where it is in the legal, world right now, but if he was convicted, he wouldn't play again. He'd go to prison.
First of all, it's 22 women have civil suits, and there's 10 that have criminal charges.
Right. Or filed criminal complaints. They're not charged yet. He's not charged yet.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Criminal complaints. Thank you for correcting me. You're exactly right.
But
my point is,
again, here's the other thing. How do you sell that to your fan base as is, right? If you know it right now as is, with all that stuff hanging over your and by the way, if you go read a lot of the stuff, selling that to your fan base is tough to do. I'm sorry, it just is. Particularly in this climate. I mean, it's look what happened to the governor of New York. I mean,
I agree.
If these are all true, there's no way you can trade for him. So
nope.
I don't think
I wouldn't trade him right now. What are you going to trade him? He's on the commissioner's exempt list, and then he goes to trial at the end of the year. You can miss them all next year. What's the point? Like, I don't understand why you would be thinking about it.
And here's the other thing: if you're the Dolphins, you had a chance today. Brian Flores had a chance to shoot it all down. Say no, we're not in that. He didn't. So if you're Tua, the guy you supposedly drafted 5th overall because you thought he was your franchise guy, who's had a pretty good camp, by the way, and a good preseason, why would you allow that to fester? It's just bad business.
Yeah, I don't know.
J.K. Dobbins of the Baltimore Ravens suffered a season-ending torn ACL in his left knee. Obviously a huge piece of the Ravens' rushing attack last year in his rookie season, just over 800 yards and 9 touchdowns on the ground. That's a big blow for the Ravens.
Well, it is and it isn't. And here's why. And I like J.K. Dobbins, and I watched it. I was watching that game live when that happened. I knew right away. His leg went backwards. It was bad. And it might be worse than an ACL, which is even worse. But Gus Edwards comes in, and he's averaged over 5 yards a carry in every single season. Everyone. Now, Dobbins was more of a home run threat. Their running game will be good. They have a young back, too. That they really like in Williams. I think they're going to be fine at running back. All this talk about maybe they'll go get Gurley. Why would you go get Gurley? Young back, younger, faster backs. That's what you want. So they'll be fine running the football. It's bad for J.K. Dobbins because
it's too bad.
You never know with a running back, Tony. I know medicine's come a long way, but you never know.
Yeah, it's sad. You hate to see that. Anytime everyone makes a big deal because it's the preseason. But I mean, would it be any better if it was the first game of the year?
No.
Jets defensive lineman Carl Lawson tore an Achilles, so they traded for Shaq Lawson from the Houston Texans, formerly of the Bills. Remember, Shaq Lawson was the one that was in the fight with Leonard Fournette in Buffalo. They were barking at each other going up the tunnel a few years ago.
And then he went to Miami last year, and then they went to they traded him to Houston. And there's a big difference. Carl Lawson can really rush the passer. Shaq Lawson's more of a set the edge.
He's a guy.
He's 5'6" sacks falling into him. That's all he is. Carl Lawson was that's a hit for the Jets and not a replacement.
The NFL, who would have thought this story would have anything close to legs as early as, 3, 4, 5 years ago, but the league has reached agreements with 4 sports books to become approved sportsbook operators for the 2021 NFL season. Fox Bet, BetMGM, PointsBet, and WinBet. And what was that, 10 years ago when Tony Romo couldn't do a fantasy football event?
10 years ago. It wasn't even 10 years ago. But here's where this is going. You ready? In-game betting is coming to the National Football League. You're going to be able to sit at your seat on your phone and pick a play and say, it's going to be a run. Let me put $15 on that. The next play is a run to the right. And anybody who remember, not a lot of people remember this. There used to be a game called QB1 that they played on Monday night at sports bars all over the country. And they were linked up all over the country. And you sat there, Tony, run right, pass right middle. Pass right deep. And you pitched that play, and if the play ended up being a pass right deep, you got a bunch of points, and it played out all over the whole country. Well, now they're going to play that game for money. There's going to be gambling in the stadium, and teams are smart. They're going to make a ton of money on the entire thing.
First of all, we knew it was coming.
Right.
This is amazing. It's slowly getting legalized across the country, state by state. And everyone says, what about the integrity of the game? But it's been happening for eons over in Europe with, Premier Soccer League, where you can bet, right at the games themselves. The only, the way you keep the integrity of the game, just to make sure players don't bet. And that's all that matters. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if anyone else is betting, because even before it was legalized, I know I have friends that have been betting with bookies for years. Now it's just going to be legal.
Right. Yeah, and so I agree. I think the NFL has embraced it because they know how much money's out there. I saw today or yesterday, it was like they'll make $250 million off of that this year on betting. Think about that.
It's only going to get bigger.
It's the tip of the iceberg. You're going to have betting shops on every corner eventually in these states. The Florida's going to have legalized sports betting in October, I think, because the Seminoles have agreed to a deal with them. So they're going to have a legalized sports betting. So
it's coming.
It'll be everywhere.
The Cardinals and the Saints game in preseason week 3 was canceled in advance of Hurricane Ida. Now, since Ida has made landfall and blown through, the aftermath obviously is just underway in the city of New Orleans and in southern Louisiana as a whole. Now the league is looking at contingencies of where to play week 1 against the Packers. It's supposed to be at the Caesars Superdome. The Saints do have only 2 games scheduled in New Orleans out of the first 6 games and 7 weeks of the season, so they'd have to move, if they're going to move them somewhere, only a couple of games.
Well, the Superdome didn't suffer any damage, so it's just a matter of if the infrastructure of the city is okay.
Right.
And so if that were okay, they could play their games there. I was actually, when I was back in the day when they got displaced by Katrina, I went and spent a week or 4 or 5 days with the Saints in San Antonio when they got displaced. Remember, they played their games in San Antonio.
Yeah, they did.
They played one in Baton Rouge, I think, and then they played the rest of them in San Antonio. But they'll go to maybe Dallas. Like they're practicing in Dallas right now, if you could work it out. They'll find a way to play the games, obviously. But San Antonio is always a possibility as well.
Well, first, let's hope that the damage and I haven't heard the latest reports, but the game, the people of New Orleans would love that game to go. The Saints were a big part of the rebound and the recovery and the healing of after Katrina. So professional sports are always a part of that and good for community. So let's just hope that they can get the infrastructure to support the city and people get power back and drinking water and in people's homes that were just, damaged and some destroyed.
Yes.
So let's get, that's the focus. And I think if you're the NFL, if I were them, I'd be quiet right now.
Yeah.
Cause there's no, wait, get to the weekend. And we have seen this league at the last minute because of snowstorms and everything else move games.
Yeah, but you got 2 weeks. Plus you got 2 weeks now. Yeah. It's not like it's happening this week.
Don't talk about it. People in New Orleans have enough to worry about. They don't need to worry about the Saints.
Let's hope if nobody. I think there was one death yesterday, but let's hope as few deaths at all possible. You can replace everything. Yeah, everything's replaceable, but let's hope that people didn't die.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The entire city of New Orleans was without power yesterday because of the failures there. But let's hope everybody improves as the weeks go along here, and we'll get back to that story as we go. That'll do it for our show tonight. Pete, we will see you again next week. Tony, are you going to be here or parts unknown next week?
Next week, I will be. It's Labor Day, so I'll be out of town, but I'll be doing the show.
Okay, Pete, we're on next week.
We're on. We get, and tomorrow's cut day. So let's see how our cuts went.
We'll find out tomorrow when the cuts come due. Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. Our thanks to Joe Fortunato on the audio side, Brent Reber on the video side, and for everyone involved, I'm JP Shadrick. We will catch you next time. Thanks for listening. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.